Look at your arms right now. Skinny, flat. Probably look exactly the same as they did 5 years ago, no matter how much you've curled. Modern fitness has an answer for that. It's genetics. It's your muscle insertions. You either have the arms or you don't. And most people believe it, so they stop trying. But Persian soldiers from 2,500 years ago had arms so thick they looked like weapons in themselves. Roman legionaries were overpowering enemies barehanded before the concept of a barbell even existed. Japanese samurai developed biceps and triceps that modern bodybuilders still can't fully explain. None of them did hammer curls. None of them owned a cable machine. They weren't even trying to build their arms. It was just a side effect of how they lived. And once you understand why, you can replicate it in about 15 minutes a day. Here's what modern fitness gets wrong. Your arm size isn't limited by your genetics. That part is a lie. What limits it is the range of motion you actually train. Most gym programs hit the bicep in one plane, one angle, one pattern. Curl up, lower down. Repeat forever. But the arm is made up of multiple structures. The biceps brachii, the brachialis underneath it, and the triceps, which makes up 2/3 of your total arm mass. Modern training almost exclusively isolates the outer bicep head. The brachialis, the tricep long head, and the stabilizing muscles of the elbow joint are almost completely ignored. Ancient warriors trained all three constantly without knowing it. Here's what they were doing, and the modern exercises that replicate each one. By the way, if you want to heal your entire body and feel 10 years younger, then I've created a guide showing you how to heal your body through simple exercises. Click the link in the description for access. Culture 1. Persian Zircon Warriors. Around 2,500 years ago, Persian warriors trained inside a pit called the Zircane, the House of Strength. And the centerpiece of that training was the meal. The meal was a wooden club shaped roughly like a bowling pin that could weigh anywhere from a few kilograms up to 30 or 40. Warriors would swing them overhead, rotating them in wide arcs for extended periods. Some of the strongest practitioners trained with meals that weighed more than most people's entire body weight. What does that have to do with arms? Everything. The long lever of the club placed the elbow and upper arm under constant eccentric tension during every arc. Every swing forced the brachialis, the deep muscle that sits underneath the bicep and pushes it up, to stabilize and control under load. The brachialis is the most neglected muscle in arm training. When it's developed, it physically pushes the bicep upward and outward, creating that thick, peaked look from every angle. Most people have never once trained it directly. They spend years doing barbell curls, dumbbell curls, cable curls, and every variation imaginable, and still wonder why their arms look the same. The answer isn't more curls. It's a completely different stimulus, targeting a completely different muscle. One that sits deeper, develops slower, but once built, changes the entire shape of the arm permanently. Here's the modern replication. The most authentic option is to actually swing a meal. Meal and steel club training has been making a serious comeback. It's one of the fastest growing training tools in the strength community right now. But if you're not there yet, you need nothing more than a single dumbbell. Hold it vertically, one end pointing up, gripping the handle with both hands stacked. Now perform a slow, controlled curl, keeping the dumbbell vertical throughout the movement. The offset load forces the brachialis to fire in a way a standard curl never reaches. Go slow. Use a weight where the last few reps are genuinely difficult. 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. If you want to push further, try doing these seated on a low surface with your elbows resting on your inner thighs. That position eliminates all momentum and forces pure muscular contraction from start to finish. There is nowhere to cheat. The brachialis has to do every single rep in full. Culture 2. Roman legionary training. Roman legionaries were not gym athletes. They were functional soldiers who carried 40 kilograms of equipment for 30 kilometers a day and then fought at the end of it. Their arm development came from one thing above everything else: prolonged overhead load. Shields were held extended. Javelins were launched from full overhead extension. Loads were carried on poles balanced across the shoulders, with arms braced against the weight. All of it hammered the tricep long head, the largest single head of the tricep, which originates at the shoulder and is only fully activated when the arm is extended overhead. It is almost never trained this way in modern programs. Almost every tricep exercise in a gym keeps the arm at the side. The long head is barely touched. And the long head is the part that makes an arm look thick from behind, from the side, and at rest. Think about that for a second. 2/3 of your arm is tricep. Of that tricep, the long head is the largest portion, and modern training almost completely ignores it. This is not a minor gap in your programming. This is the reason your arms aren't growing. You are spending the majority of your training time on the minority of your arm. Roman soldiers didn't have this problem because every physical demand of their life activated the long head constantly. Holding formation, throwing, carrying, pushing, it was inescapable. You have to build that stimulus back in deliberately. Here's the modern replication. Find a wall. Stand an arm's length away and press both palms flat against it at shoulder height. Now bend your elbows, lowering your head toward the wall, keeping your body rigid, then press back out. This is a wall overhead tricep press. It's not impressive looking. It is brutally effective. The angle places your elbows above your head, fully activating the long head of the tricep through the full range. Add a slow 3-second lowering phase. 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. If that becomes too easy, move to the floor and do a narrow grip pike push-up instead. Same overhead elbow position, more load. Either way, commit to the full range. Half reps here mean half results. The stretch at the bottom of each rep, where your elbows are fully bent and your hands are close to your head, is where the long head is maximally loaded. Don't rush through it. Own that position. Culture 3. Japanese samurai. Samurai sword training was not choreography. It was hours of repeated cutting, drawing, and guard holding under fatigue, every day for years. The katana was not a light weapon swung casually. Drawing it from the scabbard required a specific pulling motion through the arm, and holding guard positions for extended periods demanded sustained isometric contraction across the entire arm. Not just the bicep, but the full upper arm from elbow to shoulder, under time. This is sustained isometric loading, and that distinction matters enormously. Heavy reps build muscle size. Sustained isometric holds build the dense, hard-looking muscle that shows up at rest, not just under a pump. It is the difference between an arm that looks built all the time versus one that only appears when you're mid-set at the gym. Most people have never trained isometrically and have no idea what maximum sustained contraction actually feels like. They confuse holding something loosely with genuine muscular tension. Samurai didn't hold their sword loosely. Every guard position was an expression of complete neuromuscular engagement. The wrist tight, the elbow braced, the shoulder packed, the entire arm as one locked unit, sustaining tension continuously. Training that quality of contraction is a skill in itself, and like all skills, it develops with practice. The first time you attempt a true maximal isometric hold, you will probably feel muscles activating that you have never felt before in years of conventional training. Here's the modern replication. Find a door frame. Press the backs of both hands outward against the frame as hard as you can. This is an isometric bicep contraction at mid-range. Hold for 30 seconds. Then turn and press your palms outward against the frame. Isometric tricep contraction. Hold for 30 seconds. Alternate for 3 rounds each. No equipment, no gym, pure tension. The goal isn't maximum effort in the sense of speed or reps. The goal is maximum sustained contraction. Squeeze like your life depends on it and hold. That sustained neural drive is what separates developed arms from perpetually flat ones. As you get stronger, extend the holds. 40 seconds, 50, a full minute. The adaptation isn't just muscular, it's neurological. Your brain learns to recruit more fibers and hold them longer. That is a permanent change in how your body builds and displays muscle. 3 cultures, 3 movement patterns, 3 exercises that together cover everything your arm training is missing. Do this as a standalone session or add it to the end of any upper body day. Vertical dumbbell brachialis curl, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Wall overhead tricep press or pike push-up, 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Door frame isometric holds, 3 rounds of 30 seconds per position. Train this 3 times per week. Give it 8 weeks before you judge results. Dense muscle and connective tissue adapts slower than surface muscle, but when it does, it stays. The reason ancient warriors developed this kind of physicality wasn't because they had a better program. It was because their daily lives demanded movement that modern training completely skips.